Today we attempt to uncover the mysteries hidden beneath the waves, where these once mighty vessels suddenly disappeared into the ocean's depths, leaving chilling tales of unanswered questions in their wake.
Get ready to dive into the abyss as we explore the top 10 terrifying submarines that vanished without a trace.
My palms are sweaty already. That's good.
Starting off our list in the number 10 spot, we have the OceanGate Titan. Of course, we had to start with this one today because this story is currently unfolding as we speak. A significant search and rescue mission is currently in progress in the Atlantic Ocean, where a tourist submarine touring the Titanic wreckage has been missing for over 48 hours. On board the submarine, known as the OceanGate Titan submersible, are 5 individuals, including British billionaire adventurer Hamish Harding, esteemed French diver Paul-Henri Nargeolet, and Pakistani entrepreneur Shahzad Dawood and his son Suleiman Dawood. The 5th person is believed to be Stockton Rush, the founder of OceanGate Expeditions. The Titan submersible was equipped with a 4-day emergency supply of oxygen before its departure. Rear Admiral John Mauger of the U.S. Coast Guard indicated on Monday that they anticipate between 70 to 96 hours of oxygen supply remaining. The submarine dove on Sunday morning, but communication with the Polar Prince, its Canadian research icebreaker support vessel, was lost approximately an hour and 45 minutes later. OceanGate Expeditions, a firm providing 8-day trips to visit the Titanic wreckage at a very hefty price of $250,000 per individual, is currently mobilizing all possible options to safely retrieve the crew. Both the US and Canadian Coast Guards are participating in the ongoing rescue efforts, and it truly is an absolutely horrifying scenario.
Number 9. USS Scorpion. The ill-fated USS Scorpion was an American nuclear submarine that mysteriously disappeared in the Atlantic Ocean back in 1968. It was carrying a crew of 99, and the disappearance of the submarine sent shockwaves through the naval community. The USS Scorpion was expected to return in a port in Norfolk, Virginia, but as days turned into weeks, it was quite clear that something bad had happened. Now, despite deploying massive search operations, not a single trace of the submarine was found, as if it was swallowed whole by the ocean. There's nothing left. That's why the ocean is so terrifying. Again, my palms are wet as I'm doing this list. It wasn't until several months later that the wreckage was finally found. The remnants of the once formidable USS Scorpion were found resting at an incredible depth of 10,000 feet below the ocean's surface. The discovery raised more questions than it did answer. What led to the tragic end of such an advanced submarine? How did this happen? Speculations abound, with theories pointing to possibilities from equipment malfunction to a self-inflicted torpedo explosion. But the real answer remains elusive, hidden deep within the unforgiving grasp of the sea. Terrifying.
In our number 8 spot today, we have the HMS Thetis. Thetis embarked on her maiden dive in 1939, an event that was meant to signify the start of a long and successful tenure at sea. Tragically, however, the first voyage quickly descended into disaster. Due to a very catastrophic malfunction of a torpedo tube, the Thetis sank into the depths. As the vessel succumbed to the ocean's relentless pressure, the majority of the crew found themselves trapped within the submarine's metal confines. Despite their best efforts, most of the crew tragically succumbed to suffocation in the cold, unyielding grip of the sea. In the face of this dire situation, a handful of crew members managed to escape using early versions of rebreathing devices. These devices, while primitive, saved the lives of the lucky few who were able to use them effectively. Subsequent salvage operations managed to retrieve the Thetis from her watery grave. However, the memory of her maiden voyage remains etched in the annals of the Royal Navy as one of its worst peacetime disasters. The loss of the Thetis was not just the sinking of a submarine, it was a shocking revelation of the state of naval preparedness at the time. It was a harsh lesson learned and a wake-up call to the Royal Navy.
Number 7. Minerve. In 1968, the French submarine Minerve disappeared into the depths of the Mediterranean Sea. Along with the submarine, there's 52 crew members that happened to also vanish, leaving behind a country in shock and a mystery that seemed impossible to solve. Despite immediate and intense search efforts involving a formidable assembly of ships, they couldn't find anything despite all efforts. No trace of the vessel was found, no debris washed ashore, no distress signals were picked up. Nothing. The Minerve had disappeared literally this time without a trace, leaving behind a void filled with sorrow, unanswered questions, and a nation in mourning. Now, over the following years, the memory of the Minerve remained alive, but a profound silence surrounded the lost submarine. A silence that lasted over half a century. But in 2019, more than 50 years after the Minerve vanished, a glimmer of closure finally arrived. 50 years too late, but better late than never. The wreckage of the lost submarine was discovered, finally. It brought a sense of tangible reality to a story that had for so long been this haunting enigma. Now, despite this discovery, the cause of the disaster still remains cloaked in mystery, leaving the tale of the Minerve as one of the most enigmatic and haunting narratives of the deep. I'm never swimming again.
In our number 6 spot today, we have the USS Grayback. The USS Grayback was an American submarine that prowled the expanses of the Pacific Ocean, striking fear into the hearts of enemy vessels. With a successful combat record, the Grayback was considered an essential asset until it mysteriously went missing in 1944. Shockwaves rippled through the ranks when the Grayback failed to return from patrol. An air of disbelief surrounded its sudden and unexplained disappearance. The official explanation pointed towards an operational error in deciphering the submarine's last known position. This misinterpretation tragically led the search efforts astray, and the Grayback was declared lost at sea. For many decades, the submarine's fate remained shrouded in mystery, its whereabouts unknown. Then, in a chilling revelation, the Grayback's watery grave was finally discovered in 2019. The submarine was found resting in the ocean's depths, its once formidable structure now a very silent and eerie testament to a bygone era. The discovery of the USS Grayback not only confirmed its final resting place, but also served as a solemn reminder of the perils of warfare and the brave souls who navigate them.
Number 5. K-129. In the annals of maritime history, few tales incite as much intrigue and speculation as the mysterious disappearance of the Russian submarine K-129. In 1968, this formidable vessel vanished without a trace in the Pacific Ocean, taking with it a crew of 98 men and a deadly payload of nuclear ballistic missiles. Not a great thing to lose by any means, not at all. The vanishing of K-129 set off a frantic and exhaustive search by the Soviet Navy. However, despite their best efforts, they were unable to locate any trace of the missing submarine, of course. The loss of K-129 with its crew and deadly arsenal represented a significant and unsettling mystery of the Cold War era. In an incredible twist, the CIA embarked on a covert operation named Project Azorian. Using advanced technology and deep-sea recovery techniques, the CIA was able to locate and partially raise the wreck of K-129 from the depths of the Pacific Ocean. This top-secret operation only added to this enigma surrounding the submarine's fate. Yet, despite these efforts, the reasons behind the sinkings of K-129 remain shrouded in Cold War secrecy and intrigue. Was it onboard equipment malfunction, a failed missile launch, or something more sinister? Who knows? The truth lies hidden with K-129 in the dark and silent depths of the Pacific Ocean. And we're never gonna know.
In our number 4 spot today, we have the INS Dakar. The story of the Israeli submarine INS Dakar is a chilling reminder of the unpredictable perils of the deep sea. This submarine, originally named HMS Totem during its service in the Royal Navy, met a tragic end in 1968 while journeying to Israel. The Dakar, now a ghostly relic in the Mediterranean Sea, was on its maiden voyage to its new home port when it tragically disappeared, taking with it the lives of 69 crew members. The sudden silence from the Dakar triggered an extensive search operation that spanned decades. Nations joined hands, deploying advanced technology in an attempt to locate the missing submarine, but the Mediterranean Sea, with its vast expanse, kept its secret well hidden. Despite the tireless efforts, it took more than 30 long years before the wreckage of the Dakar was finally located. The investigation into the disaster pointed towards a catastrophic hull failure as the cause of the sinking. However, the exact reasons for this failure remain buried with the submarine.
Number 3. The HMS Affray. The British submarine HMS Affray vanished in 1951 during a training mission, and not only this, but this event marked the last time a British submarine was lost at sea. HMS Affray was on a routine training exercise in the English Channel with 75 crew members and trainees on board. Now, as part of the exercise, the submarine sent a routine radio message, a mundane act that would become its last known contact with the surface. surface. Now suddenly, and without explanation, the Affray was engulfed by silence. This sudden radio silence sparked a massive search operation, of course, but the submarine remained elusive, its fate unknown. The search for the Affray lasted for several months before the submarine was finally, thankfully, found. Now, the discovery was chilling. The Affray lay silent and lifeless at the bottom of the English Channel. Investigations into the disaster pointed towards a potential failure of the submarine's breathing apparatus as the primary cause. However, despite the best efforts and investigations, the precise reason for the Affray's tragic end remains a mystery, submerged in speculation and uncertainty. What a way to go.
In our number 2 spot today, we have the ARA San Juan. In 2017, the San Juan and her crew of 44 mysteriously vanished off the Argentine coast, inciting a desperate search and a nation's collective anxiety. The San Juan was not just a submarine, it was an embodiment of Argentina's maritime capabilities, an icon of national pride. When it disappeared, it left an eerie silence and a trail of unanswered questions. The world watched in suspense as an extensive multinational search operation unfolded, the sea's vast expanse challenging every effort to locate the missing submarine. A full year passed before the wreckage of the San Juan was finally discovered, resting in the unforgiving depths of the ocean at 3,000 feet. The discovery, however, brought more grief than relief as it confirmed the tragic fate of the 44 souls on board. Investigations into the cause of the disaster pointed towards a sudden onboard explosion, likely triggered by a faulty battery. This catastrophic event would have given the crew little chance of survival, abruptly ending their underwater journey.
And finally, number 1, the KRI NANGGALA. During a routine training exercise in the Bali Sea, the KRI NANGGALA, a German-made vessel, set out with 53 brave souls on board. Now suddenly, an unsettling turn of events unfolded. NANGGALA vanished without a trace, leaving behind a wake of uncertainty and fear. A massive international search and rescue operation was immediately launched as nations rallied together in a race against time to locate the missing submarine and its crew. Naval vessels, aircraft, the best technology they could get their hands on, all of this was deployed in a desperate search for answers. Days turned into nights, loved ones were waiting anxiously for any news, and finally, a chilling discovery shattered all hope that remained. The wreckage of the KRI NANGGALA was found on the ocean floor, fragmented into 3 parts. Now, it's believed that a blackout occurred on board, leading to a loss of control over the submarine. In the haunting depths of the Bali Sea, the vessel succumbed to the immense pressure, and its hull compromised and shattered. Terrifying, absolute terrifying way to go. Couldn't imagine.
Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been one of your hosts, Olivia Kozlowski.
And I'm Taylor McWaters. We'll see you next time.
Bye.